You know, they say to each his own, and you shouldn't judge, things of that nature, which has its place. Yes, it does. But sometimes some shit just needs to be judged, right? I mean, there comes a certain point where like where does the line of we shouldn't judge cross paths with damn that broad is nasty, right? Or that person is just plain out gross. What at what intersection does that happen? Um and this is turning all too normal. You know, I know you guys have probably seen videos of this chick. Her name is Lily Phillips, and she banged like 100 guys, right? She banged 101, excuse me, guys in one day to make fans only video. And these guys were lined up waiting their turn like losers. And I'm just sitting here like, see, this is where that whole don't judge thing, this is probably that line that it crossed into, all right, this crap is getting ridiculous. Because let's take a step back. Where does this whole don't judge and let he who not sin throw the first stone or cast the first stone, things of that nature. Not to get sacrilegious or blasphemous, which is not what this is at all. I'm just pointing out the obvious. I'm just pointing out facts. It came from the Bible and other Abrahamic religious texts, I guess, to an extent, but mainly the Bible. Like, don't judge, only God can judge. And I get that. That's fine. But even at some point in the Bible, even the Bible at some point is like, all right, this is, you know what, this is too far. This is a sin. You know, the 10 Commandments. Some people say there's more. What is 10 Commandments? Pretty much a judgment, right? Pretty much a judgment of, all right, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not be adulterous, so on and so forth. I'm not going to get too deep into it. So even with that whole don't judge little rhetoric, that runs out at some point as well. And I know what someone is thinking, like, oh man, women are judged so much. Bro, as men, we get judged on the freaking daily. We've been hearing judgments coming from everybody since we were kids. He's broke. He doesn't have a job. A real man has a job. A real man pays for everything. A real man never says no. A real man breaks his back for his women. We've been hearing all this stuff that is judgmental to guys. So I feel like this is fair. And this crap, to be honest, is actually a moral problem. Now, a lot of people can say that morality is a construct. To a certain extent, it is, until nature starts taking over, right? I mean, you're gonna have all of these chicks thinking that this is cool, and you're gonna have a generation of 304s that pretty much think it's okay to go around and smash as many guys as possible. And you know, there's gonna be men out there that participate in this tomfoolery, and they're the ones that are gonna get played the worst. Because we all know what happens when you mess with 304s. You're gonna get your heart broken, and worst of all, there's gonna be a large majority of these chicks acting this way because they think that this crap is cool, or they think it's normal. So here goes the common man trying to have a serious relationship with young ladies, right? And don't get it twisted. There's plenty of good women out there. I'm just saying, with this type of stuff being okay and not having any kind of constraints, there's going to be more and more of these chicks, right? There's going to be more and more of these chicks because there's no judgment. Okay, so even though there are plenty of good women, with this stuff not having any kind of moral repercussions or any kind of shame attached to it, as generations go on, more it's gonna good women are gonna be few, far, and in between, because they're following footsteps of these chicks that are being glamorized, that are being congratulated even. Oh, it's so liberating. You smashed 101 guys in one day. Like, how crazy is that? Like, think about that, guys. Think about a chick catching 100 bodies in one day. Like, holy Christ. 100 bodies in one. That beats out, like, I would say 90% of men's body count their entire life. Right? Straight up. I would say that beats out like 90, like a lot of these rock stars and stuff like that. Their body count, or celebrities, hell, their body count is probably close to that put together. And here comes this chick smashing 101 guys in one day. And yeah, we've always had workers, right? We've always had sex workers. And I don't even think those gals reach those type of numbers in a day at least. And 101 was just in one day. We're not even counting the stuff she does on the side. We're not even counting the side D that she gets apart from doing her films. And a lot of chicks are, because there's no moral compass to this society at all, a lot of these chicks, especially ones that have no direction, are going to look at this and be like, wow, that's really inspirational. I'm going to go out here and let 10 guys a day pipe. And I'm pretty sure this has happened a lot of times, right? And the most harmful thing, to be honest, is a lot of these chicks think they could just erase their history. Think their history doesn't matter. All of a sudden, when they get older and washed up, we all know that infamous wall. We've all heard of the infamous wall. It's real. It is a thing. Fellas, if you don't believe it's a thing, look at all of these single females out here. Look at all of these single chicks out here that you guys are just so freaking jealous of. But the fact of the matter is, these chicks are getting passed around and no one wants to commit, right? And this is the outcome. This is the outcome. And some little girl in the far future, when this crap gets even worse, is going to be looking at this. And it's going to be like, oh, wow, that's so empowering. That's going to be the backwards, twisted way of thinking about how to be empowered, is letting different guys plow through you. I don't know how that's empowering, but hey, that's the society we live in. And with this wokeness and this very coddled society that is super non-judgmental, so to speak, is gonna, is gonna chastise anyone that speaks about this. Because they're gonna be like, oh, who are you? It's their body, their choice. Man, honestly, not really. Not really, because if everyone thought like that, if everyone was so selfish like that, we're not going to have a cohesive society. And shit like this, and those dudes, let's not get it twisted. Those guys that participated in that are just as bad. They're gross. They're not any freaking better. They are not any better. They are scum too. They're simps too. But, these chicks don't realize how they're damaging society by this. Okay? Because these guys are going to even they're just going to view chicks for one thing. And I know a lot of girls think that already, like, oh, guys only want us for one thing anyway. And of course, men want to be intimate, but they also want that relationship side too. They also want to build families. Yes, men want to build families too. But now, with a lot of these chicks doing all of this, guys are going to have this skewed, very warped outlook on females. They're just going to be like, oh, she probably does OnlyFans too. Or if she's into the whole don't judge sort of leftist type of view of feminism and all that good stuff, all that bad stuff for real, then the dude is automatically gonna put them in that category. Like, oh, she's a 304 as well. And no one is gonna be happy. A lot of these chicks are gonna end up being single mothers, because even a 304 wants to be a mom. But guess what? Just because a chick has kids doesn't mean a guy is going to stick around, right? And they're doing